Hey, 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 welcome to Major Greatness, podcast number 4. Yes, 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 I'm here. This is Sunday, this is Father's Day. Welcome, family, friends, and foes, friends, and family. Yes, 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 it's your girl. I'm here, Eyes-Dysell Swans, founder of Major Greatness. I'm in the Major Greatness building, as you can see, the background, done by, Trap. What are they? Trap. I can't. I be forgetting. Charge it to my heart. Don't charge it to my heart. Charge it to my head, because I got a lot of things going on in this head right now. Anyway, happy Father's Day to all the fathers. Let's give a clap out there. Yes, yes, to all the fathers that are out there and that really take care of their kids, that's in their kids' life, that are providers, and not the ones that don't take care of their kids. Nope, not you. I'm not saying happy Father's Day to you. Sorry, just not. I don't care what it is, who it is, what they did. You know, even if you don't give money, even though if you don't get along with your baby mother, you still should provide for your kid. Send a check in the mail. Oh, I did everything, I tried. Send a check. Because what it's showing is that the kid did something wrong, and that's how the kid thinks for the rest of their life. Up until, I was a fatherless child. I didn't have a father. And when I did have a father, when I did find out I did have a father early on, Raynard, but again, y'all see my podcast 1 and 2 and 3. This is 4, I think. I'm by myself today. Please, again, don't charge it to my heart. Charge it to my head. I thought my father was Raynard Hicks, and he wasn't Raynard. Raynard was not my father. My father was named Arthur Lee Goodwin, and he was my father after a DNA test. The day, I think I told y'all that too, the day Kobe Bryant died, I would have never knew that Raynard wasn't my father had he not had a heart attack the day Kobe Bryant died in my house. So Kobe Bryant died. My father, I thought was my father, was sitting in front of the television. He had a heart attack. He was watching the news, and the news came on, and the news was saying that Kobe died. Breaking news, you know how it is. He's sitting there. He has a heart attack. He's a Kobe fan. He has a heart attack, and during this heart attack, he calls me, says, hey, call ambulance. I can't, I'm having a heart attack. He dialed my number from the room. He was in my house down here in Georgia. I call the ambulance. I tell him, listen, if you make it out of here, I'll get you a DNA test, because at this point, he didn't know who his father was. He didn't. He didn't know who his father was or his mother. He was born motherless and fatherless too. His mother gave him up at birth. I'm sorry to be doing all this while I'm on, His mother gave him up at birth to Marion, which was my caretaker, my abuser. Anyway, I'm still hot, but I just turned the AC on. I'm sorry. I'm going through that change of life. I can't really have clothes on. It's like I sweat. I'm just a sweater. I just don't like. I love summer, but I don't love summer. But anyway, so Raynard makes it out the hospital. I told him, like, if you make it out, I'll get you a DNA test. By this time, me and my son, my brother, my cousin Tiana, I've given all them DNA tests. They sent in their DNA test, so we all on block for DNA. He comes out, he does his DNA. DNA comes out that when he comes back, a couple of months later down the road, come back, he not my father. When he came back, it said, the lady kept saying, hold on, kept asking the lady, help me, connect it to, the regular, my tree or whatever. She gets on the, I'm sorry, I gotta wipe my nose, y'all. She gets on the phone, and she tells me, after putting me on hold several times, she had to put me on hold about 3-4 times, and I knew in my back of my mind that he wasn't my father, but something just said, hold on, let's wait. So when she came back, she was like, sorry, ma'am, I'm sorry to tell you this, he's not your father. Because how I knew was, when on DNA, on Ancestry, when you connect your DNA, it automatically connects to your next of kin. It tells you how much DNA was connected and accepted. Like the numbers don't lie. Y'all heard that before. Numbers don't lie. So that being said, the numbers didn't connect to me, Bryant, my son, and my cousin. My cousin is my mother's only niece. That was her sister's daughter, right? So she was the one that took the DNA test. My niece and my nephew in upstate, they took it as well because their mother is my mother's third child, right? No, fourth child. She the fourth child. She the fourth oldest because it's 1, 2, 3, then her. Yeah, she's right up under me. Anyway, so it connected to them too, as and it tells you exactly paternal, maternal. It just doesn't lie. And it said that it didn't connect, so I knew right then and there he wasn't my father. And that being said, I'm just sweating. I'm gonna talk about me sweating. That's what I need to do. But anyway, so he wasn't my father, and he knew. He said, you still my kid. You know, it was a little touching, but then I wasn't even fazed by it. Like, sometimes people get like upset and mad and things like that about who their family is and not having a family. I think I was already like, what do you call that word? Like, I blocked a lot of pain away from me. So it didn't really bother me that he really wasn't my father. Like, okay, he wasn't my father, you know. But then I'm like, well, maybe my father's still alive. And this is how I found out my father had died, because I told y'all the story already too. Sometimes I'm gonna go back so y'all can hear the story and understand how I got to be where I'm at right now. So it was this one lady DNA test that was high on a thing. Her name was Michelle Fuller, and I hit her inbox. I said, hey, I think we're related, because it says we're related on the paternal side or whatever the case may be. And she was like, yeah, if it says it, then we are related. And I'm like, okay, that was easy. So she never, like, she knew that she keeps her ancestry thing going because she knows it's going to be somebody that's going to be related. Because a lot of things is coming back from, I'm a 70s baby, so a lot of people coming around like, you know, that is my father, that is my mother, you know, they gave me up, you know what I'm saying? Like, my sisters didn't know, they didn't know that we exist. My mother's first 3 kids, she kept that a secret from them. She just was acting like she had 3 kids. Or maybe their father knew, but they didn't know until we start coming around, until we met them, till me and Ronnie, my brother Ronnie, we met them. So come to find out, Michelle's my cousin on my father's side. Eula's sister daughter is Michelle Fuller. They related. It's a couple of them. My grandmother had 12 kids. No, she had 12. It was 12 siblings. Let me start. I forgot how many kids she had. I got so much in my head, like, it's crazy. But Eula. So I reached out to her. She put me in contact with another cousin, Darlene. Darlene, actually, today's Darlene's birthday on Father's Day. Today's Father's Day. So Darlene connected me with my grandmother. Darlene asked me a lot of questions like, who's your mother? What's your mother's name? Da-da-da-da-da-da. I was telling her. So this conversation went real quick because Darlene was a part of this era back then with her cousin, which was my father, Arthur Lee. Arthur Lee was a drug addict. Arthur Lee was a dope fiend, like my mother. My mother was a dope fiend. She shot dope. That was her choice of drugs back then. She was a functioning dope fiend. When I came in the picture, she was still doing dope. So that was early on. I was 11, and my mom was on drugs. It's just what it was. And that being said, she not to, just thinking about it, like, it's weird because you would think, I don't know, maybe it's me, like, up to 11, you was a drug addict when I was born, so 11 years you still shot dope, right? For 11 years. And you still shot it after meeting me. My mother didn't fully stop doing drugs until my daughter came into the picture. And that's when she finally got on the methadone program. She got on that methadone program Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, faithfully, like church. And she would go to the methadone program. Yep. I guess, it's just what it was. She had to get off drugs in order to be, she could still be in my life, but she probably wouldn't have been in my daughter's life. It's just what it was. We're not going to be raised. No, you can't be. I was strong, remember I told you I'm headstrong, like, so that's that. Anyway, so Arthur Lee is my father, and yeah, I got to see my father in the gravesite. Once she asked me all those questions, Darlene asked me all those questions and was like, what's your mother's name? I told her Janetta. Where she live at? I'm like, I told her, Franklin Avenue, Boston Road area. She was like, Arthur Lee's your father. It was just maybe like 2-3 questions and boom, Arthur Lee's your father. And she connected me with, she connected me with Eula that same night. Eula, so everybody thought I was a boy. So what I'm getting out of it is that just listening to the conversations, oh, we thought you was a boy. So they had my name kind of like correct, but they didn't have it correct. And it was, I forgot the name that they said. I got it written down. I don't have that book. Excuse me. I've been up since this morning. Anyway, so Eula says to me, we look for you. Yes, let's give a clap for Eula. Eula said, we look for you. We thought you was a boy. Yes. So apparently, Janetta left and then I guess she let them know she was pregnant, maybe early stages, and she bounced. She went and did her own thing. There's many mothers that do that. Like, I don't want to have nothing to do with the man. I want to have a kid. I'm going to raise this kid either through IV or through by themselves. They get pregnant and move from the state that they had that one night stand in, or they just move and do their own thing. And I want to talk about fathers though too, because, granted, I didn't get to meet Arthur Lee, but in a way, I'm glad I didn't meet him, because that's like more heartache. Like, okay, your mother was on drugs, he was on drugs, everybody was on drugs. Like, what the fuck? Like, when you had me and you knew that you couldn't be on drugs no more, like, and you still continue to be on drugs. You had 3 other kids after me. No excuse not to be off drugs, but you got off drugs when your grand came. You already had grands, but that was with your oldest kid, which he, that's a whole nother story of his kids his kid don't even know my mom. Neither one of them, God bless her soul. She dead and gone out. Remember, I told you I forgave her. And I told you it just took me to forgive her during COVID when I had to go through to talk to a therapist, because it was real. It's real. I want to, since we on fathers, so I don't know, a lot of y'all know I had a baby, my firstborn. I love her to death. I love her to death. Love her to pieces. She has a father named Rakim. His real name is Bruce Lagan. If anybody know him, it's just who he is. He a snake in the grass. Yeah, he a snake to this day. So women sometimes be led to think that you are the only one. There is nobody else. I have a baby mother. That's it. Nothing else. Men lie. I was lied to. Honestly, like, had I known, I don't mess with nobody that has a man. No females, boyfriends. It's just something I don't do. And men be really like, they be laying it on thick that they don't have no kids. Either they don't have no kids or they don't have no girlfriend. Oh, I'm not with her. And be pursuing the next chick. Yeah. Some females don't care. I'm one of those females that do care. When I did find out that he was into the 5% of life. He wanted me to be an earth. I tried that. One time I tried that before I even met him, years ago. I tried that in school. We wound up eating a ham sandwich. Don't, it is what it is. Anyway, my name was Old Earth. That's my Instagram name, Old Earth, one of them names, right? So he led me on to believe we worked together. He would take me to his apartment, him and his brother shared at the time. And I'm young, I'm impressionable, I'm beautiful, I'm 18, going on 19. Like I'm in the prime of my life right now, right? And I meet this light-skinned, suave nigga, got right in my panties. It's just what it is. It's just what it is. Got in my panties and impregnated me. Because back then, honestly speaking, condoms was around, but I didn't use a condom. Like, he was older than me, too. He was older than me. He was like, I was 18, 19. Rakim had to been like 24, 25, 26. He was older than me. So I'm impressionable, I'm young, I'm timid, I'm shy. I'm like, this man is on my bones. I'm liking everything about him. I know that feeling of love. Love is the heart is the wrong organ to fuck around with. I'm telling you, the heart is the wrong organ to fuck around with. I'm going to tell you that. The heart, when you love, that shit is crazy. It makes you feel all types of good, bad, and different. Like, it's just crazy. He had me. I was open. It was just what it was. And got pregnant. I think I got pregnant within the first 2 months of fucking with him. Kept my daughter. He knew I was pregnant. He was very sinister. He'd go to work or whatever, and he'd be like, I know you pregnant. I'm like, nah. And at this point, I didn't even know to go take a pregnancy test. Call it what you want. Again, I'm young. I'm not, it's just what it is. I wound up having a baby, 1991. I'll never forget it, August 1991. Love my daughter to the shit. But he never was in Daisha's life. And it had nothing to do with me. And that's another thing. Men say, women, oh, your mother left. I didn't know where you was at. She took you and left. This Negro's a lie. Because soon I had Daisha, I went to child support because I couldn't find him. He would go by different names. Didn't know where he really lived at. So I had to go to child support and try to get child support on him. And on this note, I'll go to the courts down in New York City, the child support joint, try to get, because I was on food stamps. I was getting, around 18, 19, that's when I started getting, like, the system. I was on the system. And I always had a job, though. So I had to work for certain stuff because I made a certain amount or whatever, some shit like that. But anyway, I went and took him to child support. He sent this Negro, Rakim, Bruce Ligon, suave nigga, chameleon. This nigga sends somebody else. When he goes to the court was like, here go your baby daddy. I'm like, that nigga is not my baby father. They be like, he works, I had to tell the judge, we worked at 51st and Lex at the, he was a janitor, he worked at the janitor. That's his job. He had a twin brother, but it wasn't his twin that he brought. He had several brothers. Clarence, God bless the dead. I think that was the brother that he sent. I'm like, that is not my baby father. The judge asked him, do you know Rakim? He's like, my name is Rakim. He was lying. He said, my name is Bruce. I said, see, he's lying. He knows him. I'm like, now at this point, I'm fed up already, right? But it was one thing about Rakim. He was a charmer. He really is a charmer. He would come, he knew where I was at. He would come find me. So he came around for Daisha, one of her birthdays. I think it was her first birthday or second birthday. He came around through the grapevine. He knew that we had a party, whatever. He came back around. He took a picture with her, whatever. So now this is the first picture I ever got with him, with her. So that was the good thing. So now I got a picture. So now when I go back to the court, I can be like, hey, but guess what your girl did? Call me what you want to call me. Call me a dickhead. Call me whatever. I never went back to court. I said, fuck that. I'm going to take care of my daughter on my own. And that's what I did. I just didn't do it. And I did it because I wanted support. I wanted help. But I knew I was a hustler. I knew I was a hustler. I was in the streets. I had a job. It's like nothing I was not going to do. Like, you know, at the end of the day, whatever it was I had to do, I provided for mine. And I just did that. You know, and that being said, so again, women, don't be messing with no nigga that ain't gonna be about that life. Later on in life, Daisha started being a part of her family life, her aunts and all of them. They came around, a couple of them, later on in life, like when she was an adult. They reached out to her, they knew who she was. She been hanging out with her aunts and from time to time, or whatever the case may be. One of her aunts reached out and found her, right? That's what it was. And they knew that Rakim was her father. They knew their brother. They knew. I just I didn't know how to get in contact with none of them. You know, being a PI I am now, I know how to get in contact with anybody. I can find anybody. So that being said, Rakim has told Daisha recently, like maybe the last couple of years, actually told his other baby mother that he has, a chick named Tanisha, I think she's a nice young lady, told her that all these stories about me, like, and none of them is true. He was a liar. He was a real liar. I just started laughing. My daughter started looking at me like, why are you laughing? I'm like, that's funny because that never happened. And I'm always willing, like being transparent, I'll take a lie detector test. I had to tell a guy one time, he went to pick up his phone, take his phone. He's like, I know you be looking at my phone. Yo, at that point, I told him, I said, listen, I never look in your phone because I don't care what you got going on in your phone. I already know niggas is niggas. Men are men. What am I looking in the phone for to see that you talking to 18 different females? I remember one time these girls called me, my baby father, my second baby father. These girls was calling me, playing on my phone. They were playing on my phone. I got a lot of that. I played on a couple of phones too. I ain't even gonna front. But these girls was calling me one time. I think they used to call me because I was real funny with them. Like I wasn't mad. I wasn't calling them bitches. I wasn't saying, why you calling me? Like, so they would call me asking, hello, may I speak to X, Y, and Z? And I'd be like, he not with me tonight, but he might be with somebody else. Like, and they'd be like, yo, you crazy. They told him what I said. They would tell him, like, yo, your baby mother, she don't give a fuck. As I didn't. When I did look in a phone, I looked in a phone. I didn't, but it was something I already knew, like, either I'm gonna be hurt or what I'm gonna do at this point. Like, but that was later on. But anyway, this baby mother told him that I left and I didn't let him see the kid. And she went with that. Some females, stop running with what the men say. Talk to that female. Sometimes you can have a good open conversation with another female and the female will tell you, like, listen, that's not what happened. These are my truth. I'm going to tell you my truth. At this point, you're not with the nigga no more. Like, why would you lie? Like, I'm going to tell you what it was. And sometimes I want to claim my name. Like, I really want to claim my name because I don't have no reason to lie. You know, they used to call me lying-ass Libra, but that's just what it is. They call all Libras lying-ass Libras, but remember, lying-ass Libras. But anyway, I wasn't. I would tell the truth sometimes and people look at me like, is she for real? Because I didn't know how to lie. And why I didn't know how to lie is because growing up, Marion, my caretaker, she would always call me a liar, and I never lied when I was a little kid. I was like 4 or 5 years old. There was nothing to lie about because I didn't have friends, I didn't have nothing. Like, what the fuck am I lying for? Lying to say I didn't touch something, which I didn't. You know, little things like that. But anyway, men, my baby father, Rakim Bruce Lagarde, he, suave nigga. And this is my truth too. Later on in life, call me a dickhead, call me whatever you want. I spent the block. I did. I spent the block on a couple of times. Now, at this time, he was giving me money. I guess because he started having money. He came around. He started having money, so he started giving me money. So he would reach out. I think Deasia she had to been, maybe it was like right after my mom died. No, it wasn't right after my mom died. It was before then. I spent the block, whatever it was. I'm bad with times and dates, but I know I spent the block back. I spent the block back with him a couple of times. He called me, we go hang out. I was single. I was living a single life. Like, what the hell? I didn't have a boyfriend at the time, nothing like that. But when I had a boyfriend, I had a boyfriend. I was with him. I was hanging with him and whatever. So, yeah, that's my daughter father. That's that father shit. But I would like to see Rakim to this day. Not to spin the block, but I would like to, like, yo, what was in your rabbit ass mind? Why wouldn't you take care of your kid? Like, what was the reason? Like, it's not that you didn't like me, because we still fucked around. Like, you came back around. And it wasn't when I spent the block. It was months we were spending the block together. It's just what it was. And I'm a dickhead for that. Like, I'm living in my truth now. I'm 50. I'm like in my early 20s when I was spinning the block. And he would give me money. He would give me money for Deasia or whatever that this case. By this time, I already moved on. I was pregnant when I found out. This is like, it really broke my heart. I was pregnant when I found out he was still with his baby mother. I want to give nothing for that. A slap. I'm going to give a slap for that. Slap me. I was pregnant. We go to the masjid on 120, what is that? 5th, 4th, 3rd, 123rd. They go to that joint once a month, the masjid, 7, all of that, whatever it is, right? We go over there, and because I know he over there, I'm like, I'm going to go over there. I was going to serve him with papers. He put his baby mother on me with a knife. His baby mother. My daughter, she talks to her kids, her sisters and them now on that side. I think just the sister, not the brother. I'm not too sure. Them don't get me lying. But he sicks his baby mother on me with a knife. I'm pregnant. I'm like 9 months at this time. I'm running down 7th Avenue, running. She chasing me. She not pregnant, but she chasing me, and I'm running down the street. And I get down the street, and I'm just like relieved that, was I pregnant? I was pregnant. I gotta ask my friend. I'm gonna get on ask her. I'm sorry, this is all over the place, This is, I'm gonna tell you about that later. Anyway, chased me down the block. Me and my 2 friends back then, my high school friends, we running down the block. I don't know if they ran with me. She had a knife. Like, what the fuck? I wasn't carrying no guns or knives at that point in life. I went to go, I wanted to get in his face. Like, yo, take care of your kid, da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da. and serving with the papers. And she ran after me. I would like to speak to her too and find out, like, what made her, like, he was a liar. I know that's one thing she'll say about him. He was a liar. Like, I would have never, I don't think so. It's just not, to my day, if I know somebody right now messing with a married man, I'm annoyed with them. I don't fuck with them. I don't want them people in my space. But men be carrying on these double lives. But, Muslim men, they be having 2 and 3 wives and all of that. But now that I know what I know now, I love Daija and the whole 9 yards. I wouldn't have had no kid by that man. Just what it was. He wasn't a good father to his first kids, for what I'm getting at, to Daija. He even, after me, he still started working back he stopped working at the shelter. He went back to the shelter to work, because I've been left it alone. He went back to 51st and Lex, the shelter, and worked, and started messing with this female that lived in my aunt's building. Guess what? He had a baby by her too, and he had a son. Lived right up under my aunt. Never took care of him neither. Never took care of him. So he was out here having fucking kids by people and not taking care of his kids, not taking care of his responsibilities. Just what it is. Just out there. That's mental health though. That's straight mental health. That's all it is. It's mental health. And he probably had it, and he still have it. He's like, for what I'm getting out of Lona, it's a lot of people. I need to put that on my list. I don't got my pen right over here. I should have had it with me. Anyway, I want to have a conversation with him. I want to have a conversation with his baby mother, his first baby mother. And I want to have a conversation with his second baby mother that's still with him down in South Carolina. Taisha or something like that believe his bullshit. It's crazy. Some men change, but he don't. Because he recently just was telling my daughter those lies, and she was really thinking that's the truth. Because kids don't be knowing, and I really never spoke ill of her father. I just didn't. Maybe to my friends, like, fuck that nigga, he's a deadbeat, da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da. I probably talk ill to my friends and stuff like that, but not around my daughter. Always to somebody else. Fuck him, he's a dick, shit like that. But just like my son's father, I never talked bad about him neither around his father, because the beef was always between me and the person, and we just didn't get along. But it's just what it is. You get along with some people, you don't, and then you grow. When you grow, y'all have different perspectives on life and what worked, what didn't work, why it went that way. One day I want to have a conversation with my son's father too, because love is, you have these kids by these men, and men be all in the beginning, and then they just be all in 1 minute, and then they all out the next. I couldn't see where I was the problem. But then, as I'm an adult now, I see where I was the problem. And I just wasn't taking the disrespect. And that's my biggest thing. If you disrespect me, I'm going to disrespect you. And that's what it was. And as I grew a little bit later on in life, I changed my ways. I just know how to deal with certain things. Some things just don't even need a response. And in my early years, I was rah, 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 rah. I was, like I was a beast. Like, like I'm on you. Like, you on me, I'm on you. And that's my Father's Day. I wanted to say fathers. My son father's a real good father. He is. At the end of the day, you can't take that away from a person. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, he's a real good dad. He was a real good dad to Daija and his own son, which is, to this day, him and Daija, they got this weird relationship, but they coexist together all the time. They just what it is. He stepped in and he helped Daisha from little. He made sure Daisha had shoes. Daisha's his road dog. They get on the road. They go places. They drove places. They did things together. They hung out together. A lot of the things he didn't do with me, he did with Daisha. It's just what it was. But I was doing my own thing anyway. So at this point, it was like, we not together. Yeah, do what you do. But he never, neglected, oh, I'm not going to do for Daisha because that ain't my kid. He never was like that. He's a good man. For real, for real. We had our own little thing, but that's my spill on fathers. Didn't know Arthur Lee. Didn't get to know him. I was kind of, I told you I was kind of okay that I didn't get to know him. Raynard is passing through to his next life. He's in like a nursing home. And yeah, that's my father's spill. Yeah, friends, family, and foes. Foes, friends, and family. It was nice. That's just my family and my Father's Day. And happy Father's Day to everybody who have a birthday today and who is a real father. I would like to say later.